doesn't, you know, have a selfish bone in his body, except for maybe when he's running the flag, honestly, or maybe when he's doing the objective. But here we go, starting this one off. Looks like Devin is what the Halo Gods are going to give us, and he's going to be pushing out for the overshield. Multiple players, 3 guys from HCS Supremacy going out towards the turf.
Ooh, big battle happening outside, and a great opening here coming for Contra and Squad as they grab that overshield and they secure bottom mid initially or right away off this start. Now, you have both teams, neither one elected to secure their own base to open this up, so no points going on the board quite yet. A big reset coming over here towards blue base, but Ryan, who we were talking about him earlier, already grabs a nice little double kill, has another big battle. This is a big one that will give up the hill reset, but he's trying to stay alive, wait for teammates. I like this play.
He's leaving it. Very heads-up play by Ryan. He could have maybe contested that and tried to get the capture, but based on the spawns and people collapsing, it doesn't seem like that was going to be the case. So he's just trying to buy as much time as possible and try to bait guys out for his teammates.
Yeah, sure enough, he distracted 3 players over at blue base while Contra was able to secure the red base stronghold. So it worked out extremely well in their favor. Even though he didn't get any kills, he was a big distraction, and now he's a major reason of why his team is putting points on the board.
Keep in mind, you do have the 2 duos, Contra and Devin. These guys team together for almost their entire Halo 5 careers and a little bit before that as well. Now going head-to-head here in this loser bracket semifinals.
Yeah, and keep in mind, for Devonator, he was dropped from Evil Geniuses, surprised himself, was picked up by Ogre too, and then the rest of Evil Geniuses was not able to, you know, make that pickup really work out in their favor. So now we are seeing Contra and Devonator reunited here on this team, so they are looking to make a big statement.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm a fan of this play coming out from Nemesis. He could have been staying down low, and yeah, really nice shots. But either way, that was the hit going on over to the guys from Auction Supremacy. Now they're able to put their first points on the board. A couple slays going on over to the guys in red, but I don't think it's going to last very long, as they are able to get the pit somehow, though. So OS not on top of their stuff there.
Yeah, and we do have that overshield getting ready to come out, but Prototype, he's out here by himself. 3, make that about to be 4 members pushing out here from the Ryan Noobs team to get and secure that overshield. Another big battle happening bottom mid, 2 dead. It's going to be numbers control over in their favor once again, so we'll see how much time they're going to be able to pick up here. Ryan Noob grabbing that DMR and just wanting to be a big distraction and be an anchor here for his squad.
Yeah, keep in mind, guys, actually Auction Supremacy playing in red and then Brownies playing in blue. So we'll get that fixed shortly. But it has been pretty much all Auction Supremacy so far. And Ryan Noob again trying to find out what the play is going to be over here. They're just going to give up the pit instead. I'm really curious to see what Ryan was kind of looking for there. It seemed like he was scared of the player that was near him, but it was his own teammate.
It looks like, was that a camo player?
It was the camo guy. So he was scared of the camo guy the whole time, and that's why he decided that he didn't want to pursue the pit. So valuing his life and trying to get information before he goes and tries to do anything a little bit too crazy. Now you can see how slow these guys are playing it from the side of Auction Supremacy, just crouching around like the radar's still in use, but it's just Nemesis trying to find where players are located over on this tower side of the map. It's going to be 3 outside push, 1 inside towards this security area. Allentown, that should be a pretty easy kill for Nemesis. He finds that player's going to be pushing up the ramp, so Nemesis fully aware of that. He's just going to lay down shots across the map, not even worry about this player until it's time. Perfect, oh man, perfect timing, dropping down, shooting the barrel. What a play by Nemesis.
I mean, in Prototype, I believe that was the same player that was bottom tower that entire time. That was, what, 30-second sequence, and sure enough, works out perfectly in Nemesis' favor.
And Nemesis is still alive, capturing this base. Prototype again, flying out there, trying to get the kill. He's not able to. Nemesis, can he get away? Devin finally coming in with the cleanup. Commonly is on spawn, and he's pushing over here, trying to get this reset over towards this red base. This is a really important reset if he can get it, but no, he is not going to be able to. Allentown at least able to get the kill with the grenades, but no, it's going to be a triple cap coming in from Auction Supremacy. Looks like they'll eventually be able to get some numbers and maybe retake control, but it's just not going to happen if Nemesis is laying down so much pistol fire from outside.
Yeah, but looks like that overshield just goes over in favor of Predevonator. So numbers control, or numbers advantage, I should say, still over here towards Oxygen Supremacy. Predevonator looking to change that here as he has that overshield. It's almost gone though. He's taking a lot of damage here already, and it's really not going to be in a good position to go for this bottom mid yet. They got to be careful not to give up a bunch of more deaths here and to let the Oxygen Supremacy kind of run away with this lead.
They finally got bottom middle. It looks like one of the players that was trying to contest that from the top center area wasn't aware that 2 players were capturing that. So nice job. Rynoob eventually gets the kill over towards the pit. Here comes the push coming in for the OS side. Amelie's going to drop Prototype. L-Town, the last 2 to fight there. Nemesis was crouching, laying down tons of damage. Contra's still there as well. There it goes. Wow, Auction Supremacy destroyed with the double taken pit.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job right now. They have so much aggression, yet they are playing patiently when they need to. Commonly gets a ground pound kill here. That's going to be actually a trade here. You see Nemesis pushing in to red base, trying to play some defense here, trying to dodge these nades. You can see Prototype once again in bottom middle, trying to push towards securing the pit. As destroyed, he's going to push over and contest this one. Great grenade, secures that kill. Now he's trying to push him out of red, but should be seeing a base flip here.
Yep.
I'm not too worried about it, as you do see blue base will in fact go over to Oxygen.
Yeah, that was just a temporary triple cap, like you said. Both teams kind of trading bases over here. L-Town, he's kind of pushing over by himself. He's going to drop. Contra's finding a double kill, and he's going to eventually drop on over to Conley. It's going to be a 2-on-2 situation over here, but this definitely favors the players from Auction Supremacy. Rynoob laying down some more DMR fire. Can he find the double kill? Takes the player down to no shields. Conley gets the reversal, but Rynoob in a 2-on-1 situation almost kills both of the players and just buying so much time, but Conley just absolutely destroyed right there with the backspin.
Squared there.
Destroyed squared for sure. L-Town getting the Spartan charges could be possibly pit going on over to the guys from Brownies, but no, the reset comes in. Someone was out of position.
Yeah, and it looks like Brownies, they just can't get any real control. They've had an overshield, they've had some camos here, but they're not able to hold the pit for any significant amounts of time here. And it's just too much aggression as we're coming down to the close of this game number 1. It looks like as long as that reset comes out at red base, which in fact Contra does pick up itself, that's going to be all she wrote.
Either help the guy and get the kill on the side base, or go and get into bottom middle and do something. Like, why are you trying to get a kill? I know the game's ending, but at least show like you're caring.
Yeah, that was kind of maybe looked like they accepted defeat, but that's not something you can do in the last chance qualifier.
You're about to get eliminated if you lose this series. I would not be taking it lightly.
Right, and look at these stats here. Great assists. Look at all the teamwork coming out of Oxygen Supremacy. It was just way too much for Brownies to handle in this game number 1.
Yeah, just completely outmatched there, 100-29, and pretty much retaking pit whenever they wanted and just completely out-rotating in every way, shape, or form. So that's a great start to this series for Auction Supremacy. Now they're in a great position if they end up coming out with a strong game number 2 on Slayer. We're already talking about how much they, how well they were doing, at Daytona when they were playing against Envy, going up and winning that game 50-20. So they know what it takes to win on these Slayer games. However, you do have 4 players on the other side who aren't necessarily known for the best objective work. I would say probably L-Town and Comley are the best objective guys, but you have Devin, Big Slayer, Prototype, Big Slayer, so it's Team Slayer. Let's see how they do.
Yeah, I mean, they got to really turn it around because that game number 1 was very one-sided here. And Brownies, this isn't a team that you would expect to get swept in a series like this. And honestly, I don't even know if I'm expecting any more sweeps after what we saw in the winners bracket finals here. The team that I was a little bit more unknown about, didn't really know what to expect from them, they showed up.
Yeah, they showed up, and a lot of players are playing at a really high level now. I think that when we were watching earlier in the day, obviously the earlier the matches, I feel like the players are used to scrimming around like, 5 o'clock or 8 Eastern, whatever it is. That's the general time players play. So when you have these matches that are taking place around noon or whenever it is, sometimes you're not going to see players really picking it up. And now everyone's kind of gotten the coal out of their eyes. They're starting to shoot really good, shooting really well, and then now we move into a game that is pretty much all shooting here, a game type that is all shooting, Truth Slayer.
Yeah, Truth Slayer. Do you see this one benefiting either team in any way?
I would have to say, based on the communication that I saw in the Regret game, I feel like Rynoob's team, again, Auction Supremacy, is going to have the advantage before the series, and I still think that they do as the series is continuing to unfold. But I love the communication that comes out in terms of where they're spawning. They say, hey, I'm spawning here. We need to block here. That helps so much in terms of being able to predict where the enemy team is. You say, okay, well, this entire part of the quadrant is covered all because my teammate died and said where he's coming. Or hey, this guy is choking this area in this side of the map. I don't know if you're going to see the same type of attention to detail coming out from the blue team.
Right, and as you can see, when Contra and Predevinate are used to team on Evil Geniuses, Contra is always kind of like the anchor. So we'll see if he's going to be able to do that same kind of positioning and work here in this game. He's always been known to have one of the greatest pistols that we saw in Pro League for a while. On top of that, you're always winning all these great individual battles, but maybe a little bit slower type of play. You see, like I said, anchoring, sitting back a lot, not necessarily baiting your teammates, but just something that happens when you play like that. Occasionally, you should have pushed up or played more aggressive in some scenarios. So Predevinator now, he knows how his ex-teammate plays, and he's going to want to work around that, and I think he can do a great job. Like, we saw him trying to qualify for Worlds. Now, of course, he did not make it, but he had a phenomenal tournament in his quest to do that.
Yeah, he's always playing at a high level, but I'm looking for people that are going to string together full series. Everyone can have a really great game or sometimes have a bad game, but you want to string together an amazing series, just like we saw the two guys from the previous series when we were watching ABC and Splice play together. Renegade and Boo Boo Deeboo really stepped it up on the Splice side. Yeah, team effort, no doubt. But on the other side, Amherst J was playing out of his mind, and a lot of that you can credit, again, team game. You saw Chaotic laying down some amazing shots, but just in general, someone has to really just play out of their mind and play at a level just a little bit above everyone in order to win these type of tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a best of 1, it's best of 5, and it even turns into a best of 7. So you got to be able to go the distance here if you have any hope of making it in Pro League. And then, of course, once you're in Pro League, you don't want to be sitting there in 8th spot. You don't want to be in last. You want to be winning those games, making more money for yourself, getting a better seed going into the actual finals as well when we will be at that DreamHack Atlanta here. So it's a lot on the line, a lot of experience. These guys are going to still be learning a lot here along the way, but you need to, like you said, be able to string together a full series. And sometimes just one bad game can be the difference between, winning and losing.
Yeah, and when you're down 1-0 here and going into a Slayer game, you have to come out and control the camo right off the get-go. You have to make sure that, again, it's just these really small things. I know that they sound silly and you can repeat yourself a lot of these times, but Halo 5 really comes down to all these little details. That's why you see so many games just get out of control, or so many games that can end up being really close. And these teams that are sitting in this position right now are not that too far off from the teams that we just saw playing in the winners bracket finals. So again, I'm really looking forward to which team that is going to be that carries that momentum on through the losers bracket. If OS comes out here again and has a hot start to this truth game, if they carry it on into game number 3, you gotta watch out for them if you're Splice, because they are going to come out hot against ABC, most likely defeat them, or at least bring them to the brink, and then go into that grand finals with some heat.
And you're looking at the series layout here. Game number 2, Slayer on Truth. First 50 kills to win. Now, a lot of these games play differently than what you have seen in previous Pro Leagues because of all the different settings changes that we have had here in Halo 5. Of course, no secondary assault rifle being one of the biggest ones here. So you can see riding top center. What a great position. Completely cutting off that angle from Card and almost maybe picked up a kill. But that winning or opening strategy is going to go over to Brownies as they secure 3, make that a 4-1 lead.
There you go. That's what you need if you're Brownies. Down 1-0 in this series. Just got stomped in an objective game. Now you have control with the lead. Kind of known for being Slayers anyway, so this is their opportunity here to shine.
Yeah, see L-Town grabbing yet another kill here. Gets collapsed on from 2 players pushing out car side of the base here. So we're going to move over, take a look at Contra. So he's going to be able to do anything. But this is great teamwork and amazing pink side of the map control here. Great baits and switches here coming out of this team.
L-Town, he gets caught down towards car 1. Nemesis is going to be able to clean that up with a grenade, but L-Town's still alive. So that's 2 players now. He's taking down no shields over here, working with Destroyed over towards that bubble area. Devin knows that guy's weak, but they're not able to get the kill. Very good kills coming up in Boxing Supremacy. Now the game is tied. You can see the pressure that they're adding over towards the pink side of the map. That's exactly what you want to do. Secure that area, get that last guy out of there, and then flood on the other side of the map over here. 8-7 when this was pretty much all BR to start the game.
Yeah, make that 9-8. We got that lead change happening now. Numbers advantage also over here in favor of Oxygen Supremacy. Now, Contra doing a really good job recognizing that numbers advantage, blocking the spawns over here at red base, forcing everyone to come up on the other side of the map or over towards blue side.
Right.
That's one of the great things that an anchor does, is recognizing those scenarios here, because the last thing you want to do is fly out of a base to try to kill the last guy alive and have the first spawner come up, start shooting you in the back immediately.
Great execution coming out from Contra and Destroyed on the car side of the map. Now they're going to have to collapse on this area over here. You can see that's exactly what they're doing, pushing on to Allentown because they did leave that area and they left red base. So now everyone is going to be spawning on the red side for Brownies. So let's see what the play is going to be for Contra. Looks like he wants to get over towards the car side, and that's going to be where the entire enemy team is spawning. Look at those shots coming up from Contra, almost taking out Allentown after it being down a couple of shots. Now it's a 6-kill deficit. You make that a 5-kill deficit as Devin has some perfect shots.
Yeah, I mean, those are great shots. Recognizing that there was a player just killed over towards red side car, and he just pushes into the base, gets a 1v1 or over blue car, and then he pushes over to red 2. It's just a quick one-on-one kill.
While all this is happening, there's so much going on the car side of the map. Ryanoob actually has the camouflage, so he's now snuck around. Nice grenade on the Allentown. It's not going to be enough to finish him. He is just going to back off, though, now fighting 3 players. One guy over towards that pink side of the map. Another player is fighting him from the car side. And that's so much information now that Ryan has given to his teammates. And I really like how he's prioritizing helping his teammates instead of being selfish.
Ooh, but he's missing a lot of sloppy shots here, and just like that, 20-19. So although he was trying to be sneaky and work with his teammates, he took himself out of the fight. And you got to be really careful doing that too long on Truth, because it's such a just arena style, back and forth, constant shooting map.
It really is. If you find yourself in an instance where you're just not being useful or not looking around the map, you are just fighting in a 3-on-4 situation. Nice shots by Devin. But one of the things you also saw was some sloppy shots coming out from Ryan, and that's a little bit of his drawback, is while he is so team-oriented, sometimes he can be expecting help and then start missing shots because of it, because he's called that guy out or said, hey, I need help with this guy. And in that instance, you really have to focus and value your life just a little bit more and kind of fall back when you know that you're not going to win that battle. So now it's a 24-23 situation here. As you see, Brownies are starting to collapse on everybody towards this blue side.
Yeah, for Devinator, just doing you know, a little bit of that anchoring position that we keep stressing on this game. He's over towards the bubble, wanted to get shots. Now he's recognizing the collapses here coming out from his team, and you have a new spawner here coming up red side of the base for Oxygen Supremacy, immediately pushing over and getting some kills from behind. So that's one of the things you got to be always aware of. Is the collapse happening now? You got to be quick, not dilly-dally around or delay things, or else you run into that situation where the spawners have you surrounded, almost just unintentionally, just works out in your favor.
Nice grenade there by Devin, gets the grave medal as well. Every kill so important here, is now all of a sudden Brownies has built not a substantial lead, but this is looking pretty good for them. Make that 6 kills now as Prototype with a big 1v1 battle on Ryanoob.
I mean, Ryanoob, you know, he wanted to go for the stick. He knew exactly where the player was, clambering up on top of the map. But once you miss that stick, you put yourself in such a bad situation where he wasn't able to take those shields. He didn't get a double melee trade, which is what you probably would have wanted to do in that situation. Hindsight 2020, of course. But it just now a 35-28 lead, trying to be a little bit too sneaky.
Yeah, this is looking really good here for the guys on Brownies, because everyone is starting to pick up slays individually. Commonly's been picking up a couple double kills. Everyone's starting to fall into their roles on the team, which is a beautiful thing when you've already been down in the series 1-0, especially when it was 121. So really starting to make this a lot more competitive now, but it's not over. They're going to really have to close this one out. They don't have pink control either, so Prototype, he's going to really try to get over into that area, try to clear out Nemesis, who is doing the right thing here. You have to push, even though you're down in kills, you have to continue to push and get control. So I really like this play coming out from OS, but let's see if we're going to be able to capitalize.
Ooh, and Ryanoob, recognizing a player, runs right by him, wants to get a backwack, but didn't recognize Commonly had his teammate in P2 watching his back, so they're going to be able to secure those kills. And what was just a moment ago an 8-kill lead is up to 11 kills as we're coming down to the final minutes. Yeah,
I mean, just based off that little play right there that I saw from Nemesis flying out and just not even caring about who's near him, makes me a little bit worried that the communication is kind of falling apart here towards the tail end of this game. And it looks like this one's going to be all Brownies. As Contra does pick up a double kill, that's going to be nice, but it's going to be pretty much all over here as soon as these guys start to tighten the grip just a little bit more.
Right now destroyed. He's hunting down his kill. Doesn't recognize Zeke or Prototype there. Pushed hiding below the base. We'll pick up a trade, but that trade is not going to be what you want when you're in this situation here. 48-39, and this one is about to be over. This is not a regret type of map where you can have these insane swings, although we've seen some blowout games here. You even got Ryan who crouching around with that Gamma. They're commonly not able to spot him here quite yet. If there's anything that can happen to bring it back, it's starting with Contra getting a kill. Ryan who recognizing there's 2 players over here towards blue base, but he gets taken. Probably no shield, so he's got to be careful. 48-42. Now this would be an insane comeback.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the way that Ryan's playing this one. There is popping up in the bubble, also underneath the base. Nemesis, that is a poor position to be in. That is just not what you want to do. He had to either charge in there and clear that out, or just fall back and do what Ryan was doing. So that's a very costly death. Again, they should be able to close this one out on the side of Brownies. Just one more kill here. Where is the push going to come from? Everybody trapped on top of the base here with the new changes in radar. Should be pretty easy for Commonly just to go underneath the base and flank around, but it looks like he's not going to elect for that. He's just going to fall back and wait for players to try to push out, maybe clean up some one-shot guys. But I really like the play that Prototype's making. He's got his head in the right place. There it is, L-Town coming in, getting that final kill onto Nemesis. Nemesis the 49th and 50th kill in that situation where it could have been a pretty phenomenal comeback.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like they were in prime position. You recognize, Tom, that the players were coming up off of spawn towards Carbine side of the map or over in those bubbles, but they just immediately overcommitted, went bottom center, which is the last place you want to be when they're in the bubbles in car side of the map. And sure enough, it just fell apart for them at the end here. Now we're taking a look at the stats, 15 and 13 out of L-Town. Big game from Prototype, sitting at a double positive of 14 and 7. And on the other hand, you had Ryan Noob, who did not have his stellar game here. I was expecting a lot more out of him because he is such a good player. Some questionable camo plays, a little bit too quick on some aggression, with the back smacks he was going for. Started to clean it up a lot towards the end, I think, but it was, like we said, a little bit too little too late here in this game number 2.
Yeah, and one of the things that we got to point out is Prototype going 14, 9, and 7. What was the score? 50-43, right? That's a 7. He went positive 7. That's a huge difference there. Devin, 15 assists. There was 40 assists coming out from the Brownies. That is a lot more than they had in the previous game. Again, 100-21. If we could take a look at the series layout and pull that up, because we are going to be seeing 3 of the games that we saw in the winners bracket finals. Now we're going to Coliseum, CTF, Eden, Strongholds, and then if it goes to game number 5, Rig Slayer. Now
this Coliseum CTF is, in my mind, going to be a pretty crazy and back and forth game. And why do I say that? You've got Commonly, Prototype, Nemesis, and Ryan Noob. Players that will, you kill them, kind of reminds me of like Renegade earlier. You killed Renegade at snipe side of the map. You come off spawn and somehow the kid has run across the map and already grabbed your flag again.
Yeah, exactly. And Ryan just so, aggressive towards the objective. Commonly, you pointed these guys out before. But again, I want to look for these Slayers here. That's what's going to come down to. The Prototypes, the Devins on the team. L-Town, he's going to push in and go for the objective. That Commonly, that's what he's going to be doing. But it's really going to come down to, can the Slayers on the side of the Brownies outslay the Slayers for Oxygen Supremacy?
So a lot of, pressure on Contra's shoulders as well. So I'd say he's probably expected to put up the most kills here on this squad. But it is not a bad position to be in. Game number 3, Coliseum. We've talked about it several times, the Coliseum Slayer. Of course, CTF plays completely differently. But you can say whether or not a team is comfortable on a specific map. We saw that for Plaza in the first series here. You could tell Plaza Strongholds was just so much more comfortable in the beginning or the first series of the day. And now what we're going to see is clearly this team, they all like to play on Coliseum. Ryan Noob loves the different angles and flanks you can take sitting at those silvers, running around. Contra being an anchor, you see a lot. He'll be hanging out on the elbows, hanging out towards the DMR, sitting top catwalk, being in those positions where you can still anchor, but puts out insane amounts of damage and still participate in so many different kills.
Yeah, exactly. And I want to see what the flag routes are going to be. Are we going to see some elbow runs? And one of the things that we saw in the winners bracket finals was missed opportunities on flag captures. Those type of things can't happen. Those are, pretty much turnovers like in sports. And then on the other hand, we saw just really great collapses going inside of the base, coming out especially from Splice, where they were just really patient on these areas in the counter caps and things like that. But that you do leave yourself susceptible if you do make those mistakes and you don't get those flag captures and you run the wrong route, or if you hit your head or something like that. That's the type of thing that you have to watch out from both of these teams because, again, you do have really aggressive flag pullers. So if someone overextends and you're not watching the players that are spawning, you're not aware that it's like a Ryan Noob or a Commonly that has spawned and sprinted on elbow, that guy is going to immediately go for a counter pull, and you have to be aware of that.
Yeah, and these two teams battling out Ryan Noob versus Commonly. These are the two guys, I feel like the only two playful I really see that'll take the flag out window and jump across to the other window. Just the fastest, quickest routes absolutely possible.
Wow, Contra is getting lit up over down towards that elbow area. It has zero chance of being able to help towards that rocket side. Instead, it looks like Prototype, instead of grabbing the rockets, is going to push on the elbow player. Instead, gets the kill onto Contra, but instead, it is going to be a trade. And look at this, already a flag being pulled, Kyle, past the 50-yard line.
What?
It is Nemesis still alive somehow.
How did he not die? He should have died so much quicker than that, but we'll see as there are players working here on this flag return. There was just 3 dead Rockets in Supremacy, and just like that, Tom, this game is already pretty crazy. 2 flag pulls within the first 40 seconds of the game. Both were moved all the way across the map.
This flag is pretty close to going in. You also have Commonly with the sniper. Commonly needs to hurry up and get back to the base immediately. Big kill onto Contra. That's the Rocket guy as well. I think he hit the no-scope, so huge plays coming out from Commonly. Should be able to help secure this flag capture. Destroyed. He gets the kill onto L-Town. He's going to find a double. Flags being returned. Amazing job by both teams. This has been such back and forth. We could have had 2 flag captures already. This could have been the 3rd.
I don't want to say I predicted it, but sure enough, these guys are not being a disappointment here. This is already an insane. There's been more flag movements and there's more flag pulls and movements than we see sometimes in a full 15-minute game, and we are a minute and a half.
Yes, more flag pulls in this game than Neighbor had his entire career. Ryan Noob here with the sniper rifle over towards Red Elbow. What's he going to be able to do with this one? Looks like he is taking out a no shields. Calmly's going to find a kill and also knows that Ryan is still sitting there. Ryan does miss the first one, but to connect on the second one, that one's going to take down Devin. Now the aggression comes in from Ryan Noob. That's going to be 3 dead. They're aware of Commonly also is the overextender and the flanker. Loves to push over towards that runway side. He's caught out down towards the trenches, so someone's going to have to get into the cave. I'm expecting Ryan Noob to eventually bring that sniper rifle over towards that area.
And Commonly. So first he was on Red Elbow, and then he's bottom sniped in a matter of just like 2 to 3 seconds. And that's the kind of aggression and fast movement and play that we see from these squads that we just wanted to point out.
Yeah, Rockets and sniper rifle in the hands now of Brownies, down 1-0 after winning game number 2. 50 to 43 here. Let's see what the play is going to be. Devin, it's always a nice play to bring that over towards that window area, but you do have to be aware of your size, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to pull that flag. He's going to double back to Ryan. If he does, that player's still in the cave. He could run this one pretty far. Everyone's pretty much out of position. The ground pound comes in on Destroyed. Very nice plays coming out from Devin. But those rockets are down. Who's going to be able to get those?
Oh, and that grenade not connecting there. The flag is still being pushed out through the window. L-Town gets that in. They're trying to push up. Nemesis going for it, but wow! Just like that, tied up again. But that was just 3 dead here now for Brownies as L-Town comes off spawn here on elbow. No, Destroy taking too long to pull the flag. Will go ahead and get picked off. And I think they were blocking all the spawns. Forced up the spawn in front of the base, and Ryan gets collapsed on and turns over the sniper once again.
They were, that's a good point. They blocked all the spawns in that situation. They spawned underneath the base, and with the new radar changes, it's so hard to predict where those guys are going, and Prototype played that correctly. Went right for the priority kill in the cave and took Ryan Noob out with that sniper rifle. So now the map kind of resetting here, and you do have L-Town and friends pushing up. One player on the elbow, another player bottom center, but Destroyed with the nasty grenade game.
I was just going to say that was a phenomenal nade. That was him predicting what I think was L-Town was going to do, recognizing, and we said this in the first series of the day as well, players always go to this silver ledge. This is a route that we saw Boo Boo Doo and Renegade especially just doing literally every single time they were there. Destroyed, recognizing that this is what people do here on Coliseum.
Prototype has that sniper rifle, finds the connection with a player over towards that rocket side, getting the killing spree. Can he find the no-scope on Ryan Noob? He switches over to his pistol and gets it somehow. Ryan electing to throw a grenade there, but double kill for Nemesis as he's able to find 2-for-1 with the frag grenades. Even makes Devin shoot 2 rockets. Is he going to be able to clean up the kill as well? Huge plays coming out from Nemesis.
But that is not good for Brownies there in that situation. Ryan once again losing another crucial battle. I can see him, I mean, not that he's playing bad, but he's just not clutching it like I'm so used to him doing.
The shots definitely need to be cleaned up just a little bit. Nemesis and Contra finding a couple kills there, but you also have Nemesis with the sniper rifle. So now the last guy alive is Devin over towards that elbow. He's going to drop the Contra as well. This is a perfect situation to be in. Nemesis flying in with the battle rifle, Contra staying alive around the corner. Commonly, that's an easy kill for Nemesis as well. The other guys are going to be spawning over towards the elbow. This should be a flag capture. I was going to say a horrible flag run there, but somehow that flag follows Nemesis through. The Halo gods are on his side right now, as this flag should be put in unless a crazy grenade comes in, and there it is, 2-1 for Auction Supremacy.
Ooh, and then Copley pushing out the window. Nemesis with the BR. That's going to be an easy cleanup kill. Gets into another fight. Questionable challenge from Prototype. Would have liked to see him just stay there. You maybe try to go catwalk, hold down the fort. Not a challenge that you'd expect to see, especially when you're on the opponent's side of the map. I didn't really like that one, but as you can see, numbers advantage and the collapse coming out for Auction Supremacy now. Last two players over towards elbow side of the base, but no, Nemesis not able to stay alive. L-Town, crucial double.
Good job by L-Town. What a play by L-Town. No one was expecting him. Oh, nasty Spartan charge as well. No one was expecting someone to be crouching inside of the window there, and that's exactly where L-Town was. Everyone was focused on the players coming in from elbow on the spawn. So L-Town, really nice job by him, but where is the objective play going to come in from Brownies? You can see Ryan already in the base.
Yeah, what do you think about this play? So he just pushed across. Okay, he's trying to contest these rockets. Hasn't been able to get that kill on
Gotta stick this guy.
Did he do it?
Going for it.
Oh, that would have been dirty.
Oh, L-Town is doing everything that he can, but Contra with the rockets, he's going to find a double kill. Can he get the flag touch as well? He does. That flag is down in the trenches. It was a little slow on the touch. Devin hitting the no-scope. He's going to find the double kill. Can he find a grenade? He should probably take that sniper rifle back out. He's going to need to do something quickly, and the flag does get touched again. So a little bit of a mistake there by Devin. That's an instance where you got to go for that no-scope without any grenades. Prototype trying to land the shots onto Contra, but that flag gets scooped up right in front of him. And Contra's now just going to be baiting this one. Look at the amount of grenades and explosions coming in as L-Town's trying to push, but Contra says no.
This is just absurd what is happening. There's just so much aggression, so much objective control, or objective focus, I should say, as these guys are flying towards that flag. How many flag touches did we just see in that course of events? I have no idea, but it was a lot.
Yeah, that was fun to watch, but either way, it is a 2-1 game here. Still anyone's map to take, as Commonly is going to find a kill onto Rhino. You have multiple players pushing over towards that rock side, and Destroyed isn't in a very good position either. So if these guys on Brownies want to, this is their opportunity to push in for a flag. There it is. Commonly finds the kill. L-Town is pushed in towards the elbow. They need someone to push in towards that snipe street, and they will be in perfect position. L-Town pulls this flag. He can toss it down towards the silver if he wants to. That's exactly what he's going to do. He decides to toss it down towards the grass instead. Player shooting him in the window, 2 dead here. This is looking great here for Brownies.
Yeah, we might be seeing this about to be all tied up, and sure enough, yes, we will. L-Town pushed in elbow, played it patiently, threw some nades into elbow to just kind of cut off the angle as he knew there were players by Red Fountain and Cape there, and sure enough, runs the flag out, secures a kill on the way, and ties this one all up.
2 really big plays from L-Town. One on the defense, one on the offense, and now this is all tied up. This could have been 3-1. I feel like if Auction Supremacy was able to find out where L-Town was hiding and kill them, then it would have been a completely different game here. But now Ryan's got these rockets. The player in front of him, very nice rocket onto Commonly. I thought Commonly was going to possibly get up there and go for the ground pound. And these rockets are pretty much the saving grace right now for Auction Supremacy, because everyone on Brownies has really good map control.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good job, Ryan. You just grabbed the rocket, and was a little bit too close. Does secure a double kill here and keeps rockets in his team's hands, but was essentially killed himself there.
Yeah, Destroyed, listening to a call out, ends up just flying out and shooting a rocket. He does spot L-Town, who's coming around with the flank from the elbow side, so that's good intel for him. But you do have Nemesis crouching in the corner. There's a rocket coming in from Destroyed. Devin in the back of the base. Ooh, nice defense coming out from Devin, and the player on that cave did not collapse in time, so Devin finds a double for his efforts.
Yeah, just like that, that flag push is going to be shut down. Next flag capture will win. It will go. This game will go into overtime if no one caps here in the next 3 minutes. They're putting another 3 minutes on the board. However, if it's tied up at the end of that, will be a full replay that we're looking at.
Wow, L-Town, he has a flagpole if he wants it. Instead, he's going to try to fight the guys that are sitting on top of Catwalk. So he could have eventually been maybe just going for a one-on-one against Nemesis, and that would have changed the complete outcome of what was going on in the map. Instead, these guys from OS are starting to push in. That's going to be one kill for Nemesis, looking for more over towards that window. He's working with Destroyed, but a nice nade coming in from Prototype shuts that push down. 6 stick by Z.
Nice skin he's got on that too.
Destroyed with the no-scope. Very nasty shots from both of these guys. Contra ends up getting the better of L-Town towards that rocket side. That's big because keep in mind, Rocket's dropping here in 10 seconds. He's just going to continue to control this area. Also getting hit markers as well. Multiple players spawning up on the elbow. So Contra is just being an absolute nuisance right there. None of those grenades are hitting. He does have a flanker coming in behind him. This flag is being pulled. He has to be aware of his back, though. If that player does push in towards the base or back smacks the rocket guy, it'd be over. There it is, appearing on radar. It was L-Town. This flag is so close to being put in. They have it already towards the elbow. Contra has the rockets. Commonly dies with the sniper rifle. The flag is towards the elbow. It's Ryan trying to put this one in. He thrusts. He gets it. It is 2-1 Oxygen Supremacy.
And Tom, that was one of the craziest CTF Coliseum games I've ever seen. Right off the get-go, number of flag grabs that we saw, the amount of map movement that we had coming out of both of these teams. These guys will grab rockets, immediately fly across the map. They'll do the same thing with the sniper. Crazy flag rotations as well, even those ground pounds that you're just watching on the replay here. Take a look at the overall stats here and flag captures and pulls. So it looks like Brownies had 4 flag grabs, while Nemesis himself had 5.
That's insane. That is absolutely insane. Look at Nemesis' stat line too. 21, 15, and 17 with all those grabs. Meanwhile, 22 assists from Ryan. Are you kidding me? Just as many assists as Prototype and L-Town combined. That is just ridiculous communication, obviously, coming out from Ryan, lining up his teammates for success. You have Nemesis pulling the flags. We weren't even thinking that Nemesis was going to be the objective guy there. Overall, just very well played by the guys, especially Contra at the end over towards that rocket side. I mean, he dodges both of those grenades from Prototype. He's aware that that player has flanked him too, so he grabs the rockets and falls back. Yeah, he did appear on the radar because he shot, but either way, just being in that sort of position while the flag is being pulled out towards that way, getting the slays and running the flag at the same time, that was a really nice run by those guys.
Yeah, just recognizing that rockets are getting ready to spawn, and you really need to get those and find those advantages if you're going to be able to put any of these flag captures in. So he recognized the rockets were coming up, he got a kill, secured the rockets, brought him back to his own base, grabbed another kill while helping Ryan Noob run that flag. So just great overall play. Contra, really feeling at home, I guess, in this role when you've got a player like Ryan Noob and Nemesis with 5 flag pulls.
Right, that's a good point because I go back to, pretty much any single Halo game, right, where if you do pick up the rockets, one of the most important things that you can do is just secure a safe area and then call out for one of your teammates and say, hey guys, I have the rockets. Someone just go pull the flag, please. And then that guy pulls the flag. In Halo 5, you can shoot with the flag, so you're even, a weapon at the same time, and just escort that guy back. And that's pretty much what you saw happen on the rocket side of the map. Contra gets the rockets, escorts the guy as he's running the flag back. You don't need the sniper rifle. You don't have to be in the cave. You don't have to have these perfect setups. And that's what we saw in that last game. Tons of objective play made that was really fun to cast.
Yeah, I mean, when you talk about strategies and you're trying to figure out what your team should do, you always have like, okay, this is our perfect strategy. This is where we want to run the flag. This is where we want people to be set up. Well, it's Halo 5. That almost never happens. You don't have a perfect flag runs or perfect strategies coming up, all the time. You have to make do with what you're given here, and that's what we're seeing from these teams. You have to sometimes bait each other. You have to think on the fly. And sure enough, Contra just staying the course here, controlling, anchoring, getting power weapons, and sure enough works out in their favor.
Here we go, kicking this one off with Ryan. It looks like he's going to go over towards that catwalk area. Keep in mind that camouflage is in the security commonly finds first blood, and also you have a grenade, a team grenade coming in. All the time he's going to find that camo, but Ryan has the nice shots to shut that down. 2 dead on the side of the Brownies, and it looks like catwalk being captured by Ryan. I love this play from Ryan, being aware of the spawns as well. Can he get the catwalk? That's huge.
And sure enough, he does, as Contra picks up another perfect kill on L-Town over in that blue alleyway. And then Ryan, who pushes up to help him out. So clearly the call-outs were happening, but it was a little bit too fast to react, as control here still over in favor of Oxygen.
Yeah, and what a rocket to Devin, but Ryan was aware of that as well and ended up hammering around. And look at this, L-Town just completely caught out of position in the turbine area, not laying down any damage, just takes Ryan down to half shields. and that is really unfortunate for Brownies because now look what is happening in a result of that blue bend being captured. That is a triple cap coming out. Rockets take down the catwalk as well. There goes the perfect reset. These guys are on the ropes for Brownies. Oxygen Supremacy has them on the spawn trap.
Oh yeah, they are definitely starting to run away with this one. Finally starting to stop the bleeding a little bit here as they will pick up Blue Ben, but is that going to be enough? Is Ryan Noob already on the flank?
Nice.
Picks up a kill and a killing spree without taking any damage there. It's a little bit too hard there, and it looks like that's going to be 2 down, so numbers advantage swing here going over to now Brownies, and looks like Oxygen Supremacy might have just opened up the board here for Catwalk to go
nice
over to the enemy team.
Very nice play by Devin. He's even throwing a grenade to check the spawns right there. You can see they still spawn in that area, so eventually Nemesis is going to come up with the cleanup. And commonly, he's trying to do the same thing that Devin was staying alive over here towards that Snickers area. Blue Ben being captured, coming out from Oxygen Supremacy. However, it is a temporary triple cap as Red Nest was taken from the side of Brownies. You have Rockets, you do have Overshield and Camo coming up here. There's the Rockets dropping at that 10-minute mark. Overshield should be any time after that. Typically, you're going to see players grab the Rockets and immediately make their way down towards there. It looks like Ryan Noob and Devin fought it out and duked it towards that Overshield in the pit area. That one is still sitting there, and Rockets finally grabbed by Nemesis.
Yeah, with these new radar changes, you can just tell watching players fight each other how many more mind games are involved here as L-Town elects not to challenge there, and there's constant back and forth action.
Nemesis sitting here with Rockets, Overshield. He's going to try to eventually clean up L-Town, who is sitting in that blue bend. L-Town, can he get the ground pound? And he does, but that player does have the Overshield. Fortunately for Nemesis, that could have been ugly, and now you're looking at a potential trip cap coming in if they can take the catwalk coming out from the red side. But Nemesis, whoever this is, they are just way too close for comfort. They need to spread out there. That was all Nemesis if he wanted to charge that. Instead, he is now pushing on 3 players with the Rockets over towards this blue bend area. So he has to really lay down cover fire towards that security area. And there it is. Nemesis pushing in towards that blue bend area, not able to find anyone. So unfortunate for him. He ran around the map and wasn't able to do anything.
Yeah, he really didn't. He was essentially took himself out of the fight. Wasn't able to use the Rockets effectively. And you saw control of the map flip over here now towards Brownies once again. Now 1 rocket left in the chamber. Prototype using or playing that anchor position. They have a numbers advantage right now as Contra finally just came off of spawn here. They are slowly starting to shrink this lead that we saw Oxygen build up to open this one up. And you got, what, another 30 to 40 seconds here before we see the next round of power-ups?
Yeah, it's weird to see a 2-on-2 split here. You would expect to see maybe a 3-on-1 or something like that, but it looks like Brian had the right idea. Typically, you want to get control of security. Never want to push over towards where this rocket guy is. Yeah, they don't know if they have the rockets over there. Now they do, as that one flies in, and that's 3 dead. Nemesis, last guy alive. He was over towards that security side, but it doesn't look like they're going to push over towards that triple cap, Kyle. They're just going to get that reset on the catwalk Devin just did, and just wait for this next round of power-ups, as they should. Rockets just dropped. You have this Overshield coming up any second. Prototype.
Yeah, I mean, even more important than Stronghold's
he struck him, and then it killed his teammate. That is so unfortunate there for Prototype. That turned everything around. Now Ryan has Rockets and Overshield.
You can't even make that up. That was literally worst case scenario for him there. And some of the dangers of, of working with your teammates and going for those sticks. If he'd gone for a beatdown, his teammate would have been fine, but he stuck him. He did something you generally think is good. It just didn't work out, and that rocket didn't kill that guy.
Yeah, it was a bad rocket, and even worse charge coming out from Ryan, but somehow he's still alive with these rockets down towards Red SMP. Just deciding that he's going to chuck out all the rockets that he can. Contra is going to be the beneficiary of that for the double kill. You're going to have Red Nest being traded for Blue Ben. What is the play, though? Are they going to go for security for Brownies, or are they going to push outside? Looks like they're doing both.
Yeah, we'll see if that works out in their favor as L-Town does shoot each other about the same time. I thought Ryan Noob had a little bit of an advantage there, but Ryan Noob, rather than challenging, he's going to try to find some new angles.
Contra's going huge.
Yeah, just picks up another double kill. We'll have to move over there. Tom, what are the stats? Anybody standing out right now?
Right now, it's Contra with the most kills in the game, sitting at 12. Ryan in second with 10. And then you have Nemesis with the least kills in the game, time with Prototype sitting at 4. So Slay's definitely going in the favor of OS, and you're seeing the scoreboard reflect that right now as a triple cap is on the board. Brownies is so close to elimination. If they're not able to get out of this spawn cycle, this is all OS right now. You can probably imagine Ryan is barking callouts as loud as possible as this player is sitting over towards that blue bend, and there it is. commonly is going to drop. You know that Ryan was going for a little body disrespect there, maybe a little bit too early for something like that, as L-Town's going to come in with the cleanup. Devin over here trying to capture Blue Ben with him, but Contra is just not missing a shot with the battle rifle.
Oh no, and they're getting collapsed on Brownies. Here's 3 players fall to secure or keep this triple cap going. The time is accumulating so quickly that this one, they're not able to grab one right now. This is over in literally just a few seconds. And 2 people in Catwalk, another collapse coming. Rhino grabs some kills here. And Tom, that's going to be all she wrote.
Catwalk is under control for the Brownies, or for Auction Supremacy, excuse me. That's all she wrote for Brownies. 100-43. Auction Supremacy is going to take the series 3-1. What a job by Contra with the battle rifle at the end. You can just see in the kill feed picking up kill after kill after kill, picking up the triple cap and just completely running away with that game.
Oh, and that you just saw on replay, Tom, it was that stick.
That was
and
such
honestly,
a game changer.
I think that was what really steamrolled and spiraled everything out of control there. And we're looking at the stats here, 16-8 from Contra, 13-8 from Ryanoob. And keep in mind, Ryanoob had 13 kills there, and only 4 assists, but he was